Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the hashtag TFR
TFR
Motivation
Motivation
Monday
Mondays.
Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles. We're your presenters tonight. We got some great information to share with you, as we always try to bring to one, make it easier for you to build your business, and two, make it more predictable, because it's about mindset, it's about skill set, and it's about your attitude towards this. So the more examples we can give, the better prepared we can give you, and the better equipped we can make you, the more chances are you are going to be successful. And that's the entire goal, right? So let's talk about the YouTube channel.
Well, first of all, we want to keep it simple, right? And so we always record these presentations, these trainings, and put them up on our YouTube channel. It is Team Freedom Reigns on YouTube. You can go and subscribe, ring the bell, and you will get notifications every single time that we upload new content. So go and do that if you have not done it yet. If you have, shout out in the comments that you are subscribed. We'd love to see who is subscribed. Okay, so last week we went all into the new Enroll, Retain, and Advance promotion that LifeVantage has started for the year of 2024. So it's the Rise era. So go find that training from last week so that you can watch it and become very familiar with the different ways that you can earn different awards, basically. It's really cool, all by earning tracks. You earn new incentives each month. So it's really a cool way to be able to get some cool swag or some maybe wish list items that you've had. But you can learn more about that by watching our YouTube training from last week, or by clicking on the Learn More in the email that you got, the Monday Motivation email from LifeVantage. And as well, the global kickoff link is there that you can go and rewatch it or watch it for the first time if you have not seen it yet, where they first announced the Enroll, Retain, and Advance incentive.
We've got live momentum cadence. So what this is, every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, for 20 minutes a week, we talk about skills to build your business. So week one is month at a glance, promotions and announcements. Week two is product training. Week three is the tech toolbox. And week four is the power hour. This is the one exception to the 20-minute cadence. This is actually a 60-minute power hour, where we get together, we do the skills necessary, the behaviors necessary to build your business, and it is live and it is participation encouraged.
All right. Yes, it is. And I want to just shout out Teresa, O'Connor, Joe, Noah. You all have said you are subscribed to the team YouTube channel. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. Welcome everybody that's hopping on here on Zoom.
Did you see Noah, the overachiever?
Yeah, I did.
He's been subscribed since 2016.
He's awesome. He's awesome. All right. So this week's Momentum Live training is going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. It is on Facebook, and it is Tech Toolbox Tuesday, where they're going to be going over the Rise era tracking, showing you how to find it, where it's at, and exactly what it will point out for you. Now, remember, they're going to be showing you where you can find what your baseline is and what you need to do to be able to earn tracks in the Rise era incentive. So Lexi Ackley from corporate is going to be going through that for us. So make sure that you hop on tomorrow, or guess what? Since it's going into Facebook, it is there for you to go and find and watch it anytime. So pay attention and take advantage of these Momentum Lives on Tuesdays. Now okay, guys, live presentations are amazing.
They are.
Live presentations, when you can get a major group of leaders together, doing them every single week, 3 days a week, twice a day, is just a gift, okay? And we need to make sure that we're taking advantage of this gift and participating in these live presentations that are happening Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. This week, we have got Trisha, Lupe, Kazi, Gail, Amy and Rachel, and Laura doing the presentations. And please take note, because I know a lot of people have been looking for Spanish presentations. This presentation deck that we have all been using in these presentations, because we're keeping it simple, we're keeping it short, and we're keeping it just the same, right? So it's not changing every single presentation. But on Tuesday, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, that is going to be in Spanish. So you've been looking for it. Now here it is. And then, of course, all of these presentations, after they're done, they are being uploaded to the YouTube channel for Activated Life. the QR code right there that arrow, that handy dandy arrow is pointing at, that will take you directly to that YouTube channel. Bookmark it, save it to your home screen, whatever you need to do to be able to find it easy, because then you can go back to all the recordings and always have a tool in place to be able to share with those people that you're sharing LifeVantage with. Anything you want to add there?
Great job.
Oh, thanks.
There's
Thanks.
again, we need some testosterone in there. There's far too many women.
We need more men. Yes, more men. Yeah, yeah. So let's start conversation.
Let's start conversation. So we decided, well, actually Marcy decided, I want to give credit where credit is due. She said, hey, what do you think about doing this? And what this was having a live Zoom, which is the first Monday or the first day of the month, every month, where we just get on and we start conversations. And the goal is 25, because if you can start 25 conversations in the beginning of the month, and then you carry those conversations through, there's a very strong likelihood you will enroll a few people during that month. Now, do you have to do a minimum of 25? We would recommend it, but I would recommend going beyond 25. Do whatever you can handle, and you can handle 25. That's 25 conversations, however you choose to reach out, and we want to do this live. There is the Zoom ID, there is the password, and we want to do this with you guys. One, to show you how to do it, and two, to open up the environment for you to join us to make this a group effort that is very powerful.
Yeah, so save the date every single Monday, because that's first day of the month. I got my mind going to many different places there, but save the date, join us at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, the first day of every single month, because what this does is it gives you a calendar appointment to start those conversations. Because just like Eric Worre says, if you're not starting conversations, you're not in business. But it's a great kickstart, because 25 minimum conversations started every single month. We recommend you do it in the first week of the month, so you have the rest of the month to put them into the I.T.T system, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. So please put this on your calendar and join us to be starting conversations together.
Because what does Eric Worre say? Again, repetition is the mother of all skill.
Yep. So
if you're not having conversations, you're not in business.
Yep, exactly, right? Exactly. All right. So March is coming up really fast, and many of you are already registered. If you're not, please get registered from Momentum Academy. It's $99 right now, and it is the next live event, right? And so that's where we need to be together to continue building our belief in ourselves that we can do this. Because when you see people on stage that you're like, oh my gosh, if they can do it, I can certainly do it. It's a great confidence booster for you in continuing and building your business and doing the simple things. So the next academy is March 14th through 16th. It is in Nashville, Tennessee. Be gathering up your co-consultants, whether they're cross-line or downline, and share rooms. Make this affordable for yourselves. And let's get together at the Gaylord Opryland. It's a really amazing resort, by the way, guys. But that QR code right there will take you directly to the registration link. And by the way, if you're looking for someone to share a room with, reach out, let us know. I'll actually create a post on the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page to be able to partner people up if you're looking for someone to share a room.
True that. So now we have Convos lead to I.T.T. So with the segue last week of starting conversations, because if you're not having conversations, you are not in business, but those conversations will lead to the opportunity to plug your prospects into this very amazing system and simple system called I.T.T. The invite, the tool, the team.
Yeah, and so if you guys did not see the training that we did the first Monday of January, all about conversations and getting them started, please go to the YouTube channel and watch that training. And we're going to be doing a follow-up series to basically starting the conversation all the way to helping your new person get started, okay? So please go and watch those. But moving into I.T.T. So these conversations that we started at the beginning of the month have begun. And so now that you've started diving deep into what's going on in people's lives, and you're starting to hear some things that might be a struggle in their lives. And this is the point where you want to see, okay, do I have something that might be a solution for them, right? Because we don't want to be spammy and just pushing everything out there. We want to see if there is problems that we can have an answer to for those people that we're talking to. And so you might be hearing things like these. It's like, I hate my job. I'm too young to be feeling this way. I need more energy to be able to keep up with my kids, or even just to be able to get up and go to work, right? I'm worried about my parents. How about I'm worried about putting food on the table for my kids? That's a big one right now, guys. Seriously, there are so many people that are in that position, or they're trying to come up with money to put gas in their tank so they can go to work. And then I don't want to look my age. So as I'm reading these, have you guys heard something? What is it that you've heard in the conversations that you've been having? Please put it into the comments, whether you're here with us on Zoom or you're on Facebook Live or your replay. What are you hearing? What are the issues people are struggling with that you know either our products, our opportunity, or our community and culture would be an answer to? So let us know in the comments if you've come across any of those, because we truly do need to be listening to the problems so that we can see if they are open to hearing about our solution. And that's where we get into the invite, is when you've heard a problem that we may have a solution to. And so we're going to talk about that. Oh, that's a good one, Teresa. I'd like to reduce the drugs that I'm on, right?
Yeah, that's a common
There's
one.
so many people out there that are having that same wish, or my joints and muscles are so sore all of the time. Yes, Mary Ellen, great one. Very good. Thank you for that contribution, you guys. All right, so let's get into the invite, because it really is simple. We just make it way too hard sometimes. Would you agree?
I would say the majority of the time. Yes, I would totally agree.
Yeah, we think about it too much. We try to come up with something just like the perfect thing to say, where if we just consider the things that we've been gathering in the conversations, just like the things that Mary Ellen and Teresa just shared and the ones that we shared from the previous slide, and then respond back, come back to the conversation, and it's an if I, would you situation, right? If I knew something that could possibly help you with how you're feeling, would you want to know about it? And would you want me to share with you? Or if I had been feeling the same way as you and I found a solution, would you want to know about it? Or, hey, was it true that you truly hate your job? If so, would you be open to doing something different in your off time that may be able to, down the road, create the opportunity for you to step out of that thing you hate? Or that thing you hate might just become what's providing while you're doing what you love and you're feeling fulfilled. You know, just different things like that. What would you add to that? Is there anything that you would add to that on the if I, would you?
Yes, and I would say be mindful of the person and how vulnerable and transparent they are with what they're telling you. If it's something that is in a private situation where it's, you know, you're out to dinner and they vulnerably share a conversation with you, be mindful of how you heard the information. And why I share that is because you wouldn't want to make a post on Facebook on that person's wall like that, because maybe they don't want everybody to know.
Yeah,
maybe they're sharing it with you in confidence. So make sure that however you hear it, that you embrace how you hear it. Because here's something also is that, and I heard John and Nadia Melton, who are leaders in the industry, talk about something they call commission breath. And when you are telling, and this is very, very common in network marketing, especially for the brand new people or the people that have been in less than a year, because whatever their aha moment is, whatever their experience has been, whether it's they got their check and it didn't bounce and they never got a check from any of the other network marketing companies they've been with, or the products they're taking are just transformational, they're going to be attached to that outcome and they want everyone else to have that same experience. That can be where you're now focusing on, oh my gosh, I had this great experience, I have to tell everybody about my experience, and so they can have the same experience as me, and you become a product salesperson with commission breath. Nobody really likes commission breath, because what that means is it's all about you. Rather, oh, I got to tell you about this. I got to tell you about this. And you may have some friends that will pause and take the time and really listen, but you're going to be very slow in bringing people on your team with that approach. What you can do is own how you feel, own the experience that you're having, and then be mindful of other people that may have an opportunity or be open to the same experience you have. And then it's if I would you, it's in their best interest that you share the information with them, not in your best interest, or you want them, and it's from their perspective. If they are perceiving that their time spent with you is going to hear all about your new business, chances are you're probably not going to get somebody in front of the information. But on the contrary, if they are perceiving that you are a true friend, you're leaning in and you really want to help them with that situation of making more money or being able to play around on the floor with their grandkids or reducing the number of prescriptions that they're on because vitality is going to be expressed more in their body, why wouldn't somebody want to hear what you have to say when it is in their best interest to do so? So be mindful of the invitation. If I would you, they are the beneficiaries. It's all about them. It's all about them. It's not about your new business. It's not about your experience with your products. That can come later. It has to be about your product or about your prospect and their best interest and solving their problems, not sharing with them how you solved yours, not yet. Once you guys have commonality and they're having the same experience, now you can lock arms and go collectively go help a bunch of other people. But if I would you, it's all about your prospect, their needs, their benefits, and where they are. But be mindful of how you heard about it. So you're not sharing something you heard in private, now making it a public comment on their Facebook post or something like that.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Most definitely don't do this out in public. So when we first did the training on conversation, we talked about as quickly as possible, if you started the conversation on a post that's open to everybody, that you take them into Messenger, into a private situation to where you can have a conversation back and forth to where they more than likely will be more open with you than they would where everybody can see it, right? And I would even say, don't feel like you have to respond with the if I would you immediately when you hear something that is a struggle for them. I would say let it percolate a little bit. Let it come out and just, have a conversation and express. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you're feeling that way. What would you maybe even ask, what would you do if you weren't feeling that way? What would you do first if you had more energy? Or what would you do that you love so much that you haven't been able to do for a while? If you didn't have all those aches and pains, you just ask questions and then you can come back, whether it's hours later or whether a day later or whatever, and go in with it's like, I couldn't stop thinking about what you said about this, and restate what they had said. And it's like, are you serious about wanting to make a difference with that or change that? Because if so, I might have something you should take a look at. Or you can come back and it's like, hey, I just couldn't stop thinking about what you shared with me. If I knew something that could potentially be a solution to that, would you want to know about it? Would you want me to share what I know? Okay, so just really be cognizant of how you're showing up. Are you showing up as that sales breath salesperson? Or are you showing up as a concerned person that cares about them? Because they will be much more receptive to the latter than the first.
Yeah. And I want to add something about that. So when you're having this conversation and you know something about them and you're pretty certain that what we have to offer, whether it's our business opportunity and the extra income stream or the health benefits and the vitality benefits of our product, once you kind of know where you're going to start that conversation, when the if I would you opportunity comes up, think about this. Maybe knowing what you know and how you phrase the conversation, make them feel intrigued. Like Marcy said, how if it was somebody who they want to be able to play with their grandkids, but their nagging aches and pains prevents them from getting on the floor and putting a puzzle together with their grandkids. Ask the intriguing question. How awesome would that be if you were able to sit down on the floor and put together an entire puzzle with your grandkids? How would that make you feel?
And not need help getting up afterwards.
Right. That's a really intriguing question. Now, that has literally nothing to do with our business, has everything to do with their improved quality of life as a result of taking our products. And once they lean into that question and they really contemplate and ponder, what would that be like? I guarantee you have their attention, and they're not going to be thinking, oh, this person just wants to sell me. They're not going to unfriend you. We think those silly kinds of things. It would just be like, you would not let a blind person walk into a busy intersection, nor would you let somebody that you know and love continue to feel a certain way, because now you're just being a jerk. When you have something that could benefit them and you don't tell them, that's the problem. But figure out a way to approach it so they're intrigued by the question. Maybe ask a question followed by a question. And Mark Shinsato is a master of this. When somebody says something, well, tell me more about that. How does that make you feel? And then once he knows a couple little elements, then he can ask the intriguing question where they lean in and like, oh my gosh, now they're putting all the pieces together. This would be so much better if I could do that. This would be so much better. My self-esteem would be better. My relationship with my grandkids would be better. Life would be better. You just literally transform that person's life, and it just comes down to building a puzzle. That's really where this is, an intriguing question of if I would you, where they're feeling very important and that you care. I can't tell you how valuable that is. That's invaluable to your business and the know, like, and trust factor of building a network marketing business, because it's a relationship-based business.
Yeah. So not everybody's going to say yes. Some people are going to say no to you, right?
Yeah.
And so when they say no, what's the 2-word answer?
No problem.
No problem. No problem. I totally get that this is not, for you right now, but if you change your mind, or I wouldn't use the word but, I would say, and yet if you change your mind, I'll be here and you know how to reach me. I would love to share if things change, right? Just no problem, right? Because we're not taking it personally. This is not personal. This is you trying to help someone else out. And if you take it personal, then it becomes icky all the way around. Right?
It just makes it awkward in that relationship. Yeah.
And so the invite is really just to find out if they're open to taking a look at some information, which then falls into the tool aspect, right? And we have so many. We have a plethora of tools to be able to choose from. I mean, new video,
like Tim Tool Time
right?
Taylor.
New video that was just released at the Rise event,
Yes.
the virtual event. If you haven't watched that, go into the hub. It's there. Go into your app. It's there. They've sent it to us in email. It's all over the place, right? And it's even in the boards app if you're using that. So let's talk about the tools that you have available to you. Obviously, your replicated website is one of the first ones that you should think about all of the time. Because first of all, sharing your website to your prospect, and when they open it up on their device, whether it's their phone, their iPad, their laptop, whatever it is, the cookies are going to then attach your website to them. And so if they ever go and look at LifeVantage products again, it will be yours that shows up instead of just lifevantage.com, right? And so this right here gets you connected to them in a whole different way. But on top of that, each one of the product pages has got the benefits that the products will bring, and you'd share that with them. It has product information sheets. There's videos in there. If you haven't gone and done a deep dive into your replicated website, I highly recommend that you do that.
Absolutely. And one of the things about the website, many people, I would say probably most people who LifeVantage is their first company, probably are not aware of what I'm about to tell you. If you just went on Google and did a search on network marketing companies and just made a list of 10 companies, and then add .com to the end and look at what their websites look like, and then go back and look at yours, and how much superior the LifeVantage website is, your replicated website is, compared to any other network marketing company out there. The intuitiveness of it, the beauty of it, how easy it is, the plethora of information on the products and the science of the products, and how easily navigating that website is. And then realize most of those companies, their reps are paying for it. This one is free with your consultant number. So you have a very, very, very powerful website. And if you look at that website, it would cost literally tens of thousands of dollars to have one as nice replicated. So use it and use it well.
Yes. And then the hub. This
That
is
too.
the hub.lifevantage.com. And so it's like if you're looking for something, you're not sure where to find it, check the hub.
Yep.
Because they're starting to put all kinds of information in this portal for you, including when we talked about last week, getting new people started under training. It's got the launch, getting started aspect of the business, but there's product information on the sales incentives, product promotions, the latest news with LifeVantage, everything. Go check out the hub.lifevantage.com. And then, of course, Big Blue Calendar. This, if you're looking for live presentations in your area or in an area for someone that you know that you're sharing this information with, go to bigbluecalendar.com and just put in the state that you want to search. And all of the local meetings that are on the Big Blue Calendar are open for you to invite people to go to. Just make sure that you RSVP to the person that's hosting the hosting that presentation.
Absolutely. And then the teamfreedomreigns.com website, that is your website to support your business with tools, with community, with updated things of what's happening in Team Freedom Reigns and what is happening abroad throughout the LifeVantage community. Use it. It's always there for you. Use it and use it often.
Biohacking Aging. If you've used Biohacking Aging and love it, give us some sort of favorite emoji in the comments, please. Dondi spent a lot of time creating this website and keeping it up to date for you, but this is where you can go and see all of the information about our foundational product, Protandim NRF2, the sister products, the Protandim products, as well as everything collagen. He's also put in there all of the links to the research for Protandim NRF2, the patents. I'm telling you, if you need it, it is there. Plus, here in a minute, we're going to be talking about LV webinar, and it is also now housed on biohackingaging.com. If you just look at the top screen of the options that's available on that website, LV webinar is now one of the options there on biohackingaging.com. So we're keeping it all together.
And then the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel. I think Marcy opened tonight talking about that, but it's very, very, very important. It's where everything that we do, including all of these hashtag TFR Motivation Mondays, are stored. That's where they live, and that's where they're going to live permanently. It's an evergreen library of all kinds of things. And there's an hourglass. So there's a search engine. If you want to look for a type of training, or if you remember one and you don't remember what it was called, or you have kind of an idea, use that search. But there's literally tons and tons of pre-recorded videos there for you to utilize over and over and over.
And we're still going. How about ATM, guys? If you don't know what ATM is, go to that YouTube channel. We did a ATM training on how to use the process. It's add tag message into Facebook pages that have all kinds of information in there. This is an education page for prospects as well as current customers. So we put information in there on collagen, NRF2, basically all of our products, Axio, and why they are important. There's all kinds of testimonials. There are all compliant testimonials. There's all kinds of before and after photos, but you can add your team into there so that they can start adding their prospects in, and then just go to the start here. And like I said, go watch the training video on YouTube, because this is a really great validator page. This is a page where they can see all kinds of different people's stories, the results that they've received, the benefits that are possibly coming for them once they get activated. So there's just so many opportunities when you utilize this ATM page. And then our boards, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So the boards app, and it's not called Run to MC1 anymore. It is Team Freedom Reigns boards. But again, we did a training on this. This is basically a filing system for a bunch of different information. It keeps it organized for you, so you can go in there and have access to video links, to before and after photos, to events, to even before and after photos of the hair care and skincare systems. So go and check out the training on the boards app. And if you want into it, basically just ask. And because we are letting anybody and everybody, we don't care if you're part of Team Freedom Reigns or not, you can use this boards, because we want everybody having access to the information.
Absolutely. And the 3-in-1 action plan tracker form. Remember when we had the 3-in-1? Well, now we have this new track system that you can get as many tracks as possible. Now, the way it is enroll 4 accounts. One of them must be a consultant, and of 150 of PV, and the 3 customers must have 100 in PV, or SV rather, sales volume. And then, so the same approach, it's 4 accounts. What's 3 plus 1? 4 accounts. So this was a little different, but the tracker is still the same. It's still an awesome way of doing it. And it's still a great way to track your progress, because when you get the 4 accounts and they qualify, you get a track, and you can get up to 5 track. You can get multiples of 5 tracks if you want to go that big. But yeah, use that as a great way
and
to
get all kinds of prizes. So go watch last week's training to see what those prizes are. And then, of course, this is what we were talking about with LV Webinar. This is where we have a recorded presentation up there that you can use at any time. And now you actually have so many recorded presentations with the ones that we talked about in the announcements today. So, but this one is always housed here. It's lvwebinar.com, or just go to biohackingaging.com, and it's right there as one of the options for you to be able to share a recorded presentation. We also have one that we went a little bit more in depth into the science for anyone that you're sharing that might have more of a science mind or doctor background, that sort of thing. So now that you have access, and by the way, guys, we didn't even talk about the app. We didn't talk about video resources. Corporate has LifeVantage YouTube channel now too, but the ABC Primetime video is available on the Boards app. It's also available on your LifeVantage app now, as well as on the YouTube channel. So you have so many resources for tools. Just be thinking about the person that you're going to be sharing with and pair them up with the perfect tool, whether it is a recorded presentation, a live presentation, a video explaining products or science, before and after photos. It's all there. It's just waiting for it to be used by you.
Right. And then the team. The most important part of a successful network marketing consultant with LifeVantage is the knowledge and awareness of the team support, because it's one of the greatest criticisms of ex-network marketers is they didn't have anybody to support them, or they didn't know what to do because there was no invite tool team. There might have been, this is how you do an invite. And I've talked to many network marketers and other companies that don't have that approach. They kind of have to figure it out for themselves. Well, one of the things about team and why it's so important, especially with your brand new people, to get them introduced to the team at large so they know they have support whenever they need it. It is critically important.
So don't take the weight of the world on your shoulders and try to do everything by yourself. Don't be answering the questions of your prospects. Don't be trying to tell them everything about what this opportunity is. Use your team. And this is a twofold approach, and reason why. One, especially when you're brand new and you don't know anything, it's a lot of stress trying to figure it out on what you should say, right? Where you can just use your team to be able to show your prospect that you don't need to know anything to be able to get started. You just have to connect with the people that have been doing this longer than you, and utilize the opportunity to have on-the-job training, because all you need to do as a consultant is be a connector of people to information and people to people. Right?
Yes.
So you don't need to be the one that's answering all of the questions. That will come when you build a team, and then they're coming to you as that third party person to help them take the load off of their shoulders. So we do this together as a team, and there's several different reasons why we do that. So use your team.
So the third party validation, and to Marcy's point, when someone asks a question, they really don't care who answers the question. So if somebody asks a question and your response was, hey, that's a great question. Let me introduce you to somebody who's been doing this longer than me. Let me introduce you to my support team. I've never, ever had anybody go, no, I want you to answer it. No one has ever said that, and no one likely will. So it's the whole thing is about the third party validation is validating you, validating whatever the conversation is, validating the company, validating the opportunity, and also validating that you don't have to know everything to be involved in this business. You just have to have a support team. And it's, in fact, it's such a beautiful thing to use your ignorance as long as possible when you're brand new. That's a great question. Let me get somebody on the line, or let me call somebody, let me text somebody who can answer that for you. I want to know the answer too, even if you know the answer, because it doesn't matter that you know the answer. What matters is the person who asks it gets the answer, and it doesn't have to come from you. In fact, it's so much better if it doesn't. And here's the reason why. And I preach this from the rooftops because I was the greatest violator of this right here. I wanted everybody to know how smart I was and how much I knew our products and how much I knew about our science and how much I knew about. I wanted everybody to know. So what did I do? I threw up information every time they answered a question. I would probably answer that question and then 2 questions they didn't ask. Big, big problem. Because I basically said, here's all the information and the reason why you shouldn't do this business with me, because you could never know it as much as I do. That's literally what I was saying. And it was so stupid, rather than, that's a great question. Let me get somebody on the line who can answer that for you, because I want to know the answer too. I'm just starting in this. I want to know. And they're like, cool. And then as soon as they get the answer, they're most of the time, they're like, hey, can I have that person's phone number too? Because I know I'm going to share it with somebody. They're going to ask me questions. I don't know. Can I have that person's phone number? That's when you know that the whole teamwork approach is working, that third-party validation is so critically important in answering those questions and also resolving the concerns, because you don't ever want to be the person doing that with your prospects.
Yeah. And then, of course, doing presentations, you want to utilize your team to share the information, because again, you don't want the one to be the one that is sharing it with them. You want to be pointing them to information, connecting them with the information. And part of that responsibility falls to your team for doing presentations. Now, as soon as you have someone that's on your team that's a consultant, now it's your turn to step into this third party role and be the presenter for your team, right? Because it is the people that stand in front of the room that make all the money, right? Or at least make the big money. And who was it that was talking about passing the baton? It was on the, okay, it was
Carrie.
Was it Carrie? Yeah. In her presentation in the Rise virtual event. Go ahead.
Pass the
baton, right? And so that's the thing, guys, is that you want to be preparing yourself and learning as you're building your business by letting your third-party team member teach you how to do it, by letting them do it for you in the beginning. But then as soon as you have a new consultant on your team, you want to do it with your leader a couple times, but then your leader is going to be a good leader and pass
the baton
to
you
and let you continue with doing those presentations.
God bless you. So, and this is actually a baton that was part of one of the elite academies. They did a big recognition thing. And it says LifeVantage: perseverance, motivating, courageous, inspiring, bold, respectful, proactive, leadership, accountable, influential, strategic, dedicated, teamwork, character, coachable, culture, passionate, empowering, commitment, fearless, motivating. These are the so all those words were what really this baton represents, is you're passing the baton to the next leader in your organization. And here's the other thing. Passing the baton is one thing. It's very important. But when you have people reaching for the baton, that's what you want in your leader. You want them to want the baton. Give it to me. I'm ready now. And that's when they can take it, they can possess the baton, and then they can hand it off to their next leader. It's the best way of doing this, and it's done with third party. Because you can't pass the baton to yourself. It looks funny. It disqualifies you if you're in a relay race anyway. You can't do that. The whole thing is passing the baton, giving other people the ability, the right, and permission to be the next layer of leadership.
And one of the ways that you can identify yourself as being that person is just tell the person that enrolled you, hey, I want the baton. You know, I want to know what I need to do to be able to start presenting. I want to know what I need to do to start doing what you've been doing for me, for my new people. And that's part of the training, right? That's part of the culture here at LifeVantage, is that we do it together all of the way, but we also don't want to stand in your way and your growth by doing it all for you for too long.
Right.
So even if you feel uncomfortable in taking the baton, take the baton. Because part of it is your growth. Part of it is your showing others that they can do it too. So that example, and part of it is just, you know, stepping into something that's uncomfortable. By it being uncomfortable means that you need to do it. You need to do it. And once you start doing it, it will become your norm. It will become your comfortable activity. And it is there that you're going to have the growth in your business, because once you do it, other people behind you are going to see that, oh, hey, if that person did it, I can do it too. Right. And that's what it's all about, is helping people see what's really inside of them before they realize it's inside them themselves. Yes.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, guys. So I.T.T, it's basically finding out if people are open to learning, right? That's the invite. And then connecting them to a tool in some information, or a team member doing a presentation, and then connecting them for the last T of team to get their questions answered and to be invited to get started, to join us, because that's part of the responsibility of your third party, is by asking for them to get started, right? And so we want to invite you all to join us next week to learn where to go for enrollment links, because I.T.T leads to enrollments. And so we want to make sure we're just taking this all back to the basics, guys. We're going back to the simplicity, and we want to make sure everybody knows where the links are to be able to send the invite to join as a team member, and where and how to set up a shopping cart to be able to send to your prospects that want to be your customer. Because once you know how to do all this, then you just have to invite your prospect to join your business and be your customer, right? So that's what next week's call is going to be about. Anything you want to add for I.T.T and for
Just
where we're going?
the simplicity of using technology is something that has advanced so significantly in the last 5 to 10 years. And it's something where you have a prospect and you send the prospect the enrollment link, or you send them a shopping cart, a loaded shopping cart. The ease of that transaction, taking it from introduction, the invite, all the way to closing them and getting them as your next team member, is very, very simple. And most people who've been involved in network marketing before are not aware that it can be so simple. And when you can do it through the app, or when you can do it through a text message, you can even send the link into a social media DM or something like that. All they do is they click on it, add their contact information, add their credit card information, check out, and it's done. That is super, super simple. And then as soon as that happens, what you can do, especially if you're in their presence, go to your email and show them, look, I just got an email saying that you just joined my team, and I can't wait for you to get the same kind of an email. And when you involve them, it's just so cool to get that what's the word I'm looking for? That reassurance and the confirmation that this really does work, and you're helping them through the process. It's super, super simple. So let's take advantage of those things. Next week, we're going to go over them in depth on how to do it, show you. We're going to share our screen and show you how to do it. It's super simple, and it's very validating when you can bring somebody from an introduction to an interested person of a prospect, and then as your next customer, as your next consultant on your team.
And just keep in mind, keep it simple. We don't have to recreate things. We don't have to make it hard. We just need to go through the simple process enough times to be able to get to where we want to be, right? So we're back in the saddle with you. And again, you've got that invite. Put the first day of each month in your calendar to join us for starting conversations, because that's where it all begins. And then combos lead to I.T.T, and I.T.T leads to enrollments. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for being on here with us. All right. Bye, guys.